Hello, welcome to session 3 of the subject Elements of Civil Engineering. The topic is building planning. This is the session 3 or session part 3. Myself Ashok Motiani, Associate Professor at LD College of Engineering, Ahmedabad. In the first 2 sessions we have covered, these are the total building planning is covered in these 6 sessions. In the first session we covered the definitions and concepts of planning of building. We defined the what is the planning, what is the definition of building, then we classified the buildings in different categories. This classification was based on the use of the building, classification based on the structural ability to transfer the load, then the classification based on the use of the building, then how the planning is done. For planning we need the help of a drawing, and we use the civil engineering drawing. Different views are used: the orthographic view, isometric view, then perspective view. We have seen all these views. The drawing is the media of communication at various stages of the planning and construction. We need the drawings, and then we started with the elementary principles of the planning. For planning any building, first of all we need what is the purpose of building. Then based on the purpose, how much land is required, how much floor spaces are required, then how to decide the total land required, then how to procure or purchase the land. For selection of the site, different criterias, we used the different criterias. We started the availability of water, road, electricity, drainage, type of the land, ground, type of the soil available. All these are the main factors. Then the negative spaces like the slaughterhouse, incineration plants, polluting industries. Okay, these should be away from the site selected. And then we started the planning, how the planning is done. For planning of the any building, we need to identify the purpose, and then based on that purpose, what are the different activities to be performed there. Then we need to establish the relationship between the different activities. Okay, which are the connected activities or which are the dependent activities. And we started with the residential building. We identified these activities, and then we classified the activities in different categories. There is the public social space, then family space, individual space, private space, and work space. Then we classified the rooms also based on that classification. Media room, living room, game room, etc. comes in the social or public space. The bedroom, bathroom, private space, then work spaces, or the kitchen, laundry, storage, office, etc. Then we classified the spaces in positive spaces and negative spaces. Then we classified the spaces into category: the space where we spend more time and a space where we spend less time. So based on this classification, we arrange the rooms using the line plans. So different alternatives are prepared based on the different principles. There are 14 different principles which are considered for arranging all these rooms with respect to each other in a building. So naturally the building land will have the one face in touching with the front street or road. So naturally the building should have very good external view. From that point of view, all the positive space we will align in the front of the building, so that the external view of the building is not spoiled by the negative spaces. And these are the principles. We discuss the aspect, prospect, circulation, economy, elegance, flexibility, and furniture arrangement. So up to furniture arrangement we have discussed all these principles. In the furniture arrangement, we have discussed the planning of the rooms. At the time of the planning of the rooms, the location of the furniture and the location of the doors and windows should be such a way that the functioning or working of the person is not obstructed. So while planning the spaces at the time of planning itself, we need to decide the different size of the furniture, their location, and whether they are obstructing the movement of the person from one space to other places or not. And the size of the furniture also is sufficient to be accommodated in that particular room or not. So all spaces should be easy to accommodate required furniture. Corners of the furniture should be rounded for easy movement of person. Furniture should not obstruct operation of the doors and windows. Furniture should not obstruct the circulation of the person. Furniture dimensions should be ergonomically designed. So this word ergonomically is nowadays very scientifically have the science where the dimensions, working dimensions of all the furniture, spaces, even equipments are decided. So ergonomics is a scientific study of human dimensions, anatomy, physiology to decide the optimum dimensions of the furniture, spaces for different activities, size of equipment and their location. So size of the furniture, sometimes if it is not appropriate fitting the dimensions of the human body, in that case what happen in the long run, if we use that type of a chair or table which are not according to the dimension of the human person who is using it, then in long run, over the period of maybe 3 to 10 years, the chronic diseases like back pain or shoulder pain or knee pain, these type of diseases are carried by the persons who are using this. For example, the bench or chair designed for the student of nursery class will not be suitable for the student of the 12th standard, because the human dimension, the dimension of the kid of the 4th class are very small. So for the comfort they need the smaller size of the chair and table, and the student of the 12th class is to be provided with the larger size of the table and chair. Then grouping of the rooms. The rooms which are having the activity related with each other or having the activity dependent upon each other, those rooms are to be provided adjacent to each other for ease of functioning, for better efficiency or conservation of energy, for movement of the person. So spaces dependent on each other for activities should be placed adjacent to each other. Kitchen, dining, store are connected activities. Kitchen cum dining adjacent to store is preferred. Washing place should be adjacent to kitchen. Water closet, that is the and bathroom, should be centrally located, approachable from all rooms. In public building also, like the school building, the principal office should be very adjacent to the teacher's room, and administrative office also should be very near to principal's office, because most of the time the principal will be having the interaction with the teachers, and the clerks will be working in the administrative room. In case of the bank, number of persons visiting bank for use of ATM will be highest, hence should be located at the entrance. If it is ATM is located on, say, 4th floor of the bank, is not preferable, because maximum number of persons are visiting to the bank for using the ATM, and if it is located at the 4th floor, all the people will first they will avoid to use that particular ATM. If it is unavoidable, then they will be moving from all different floors, and the privacy of all other activities will be disturbed, as well as the activities performed in different spaces will be also be obstructed. So ninth principle is the privacy. Privacy is in particularly we classified the spaces in three categories. One was the public, then private, and third was the work space. So outside persons are allowed to enter up to the entrance as well as up to the drawing room. Okay, they are not desired to be present in the other spaces of the building. So for privacy, we may locate the places like bedroom, WC, bath, study room, and the room for prayer or worship, not in front of the building. That can be aligned in the backside of the building, backside area of the building. In front side area, we can align the rooms which where the outsiders are allowed to visit and come and interact with the family members. So privacy of the one space to other space. Suppose in a house we have provided game room and bedroom. So game room should not be very adjacent to the bedroom, so that will be disturbing. So privacy can be classified in the three categories. Privacy of the vision. So the interior of the private room should not be visible from the passage or from other rooms, as well as the room should be there should not be penetration of the sound, so that the privacy is not disturbed. So privacy of the sound, privacy of the vision, and privacy of the vibration. Some equipments will cause the vibration, like the use of the washing machines or equipments for cleaning the utensils or cleaning, servicing the vehicles. These create vibration that should not penetrate in the private places like a study room or bedroom. Level of privacy varies with the type of space and activity. So to isolate the space, we may use the passages very judiciously, so that the space or passage connecting two different rooms, the passages used should not be too large or it should not be too less. If it is very too less, then the privacy is compromised. If it is too large, then we are wasting the money on the passage. We are consuming more area of the land. Privacy, place of worship where elders perform meditation or bedrooms need the highest privacy. Privacy can be achieved by properly locating the doors and windows. So doors and windows also, if properly located, then we can achieve the privacy. For example, if a bedroom is there in this corner, we have provided the bedroom. So instead of providing this is a bedroom, and in this bedroom, if a window is provided like this, so can be vision from outside to inside. So that can be blocked by providing other type of windows like this. We can have this type of window where we can block. We can have the window like this. This wall here, and we can have the window here. So window here and window here. So this type of window can block the vision from outside. Okay, only this much portion of the area of the bedroom is visible from outside. So properly designing and properly locating the doors and windows in the spaces where we need the privacy, we can achieve the privacy of all kinds. For example, if this is a bedroom, if we provide the door here, okay, so from this side the larger area of the room will be visible. Okay, if you provide the window at the middle, okay, so we will have the less privacy. In the corner we will have the more privacy. If you provide door here or you provide door here, if you provide the door here, you will have less privacy. If you provide the door here, privacy. Separating rooms by passages for internal privacy, planting trees around building for external privacy. So the margin space of the land, can be used for landscaping. In the landscaping, if this total land is there and we are allowed to construct the building in this space, okay, this space is there and we have provided different rooms and windows. So this area we can have the landscaping, and we can plant the trees to block the vision from the outside. Rooms should neither be, this is a roominess, the 10th principle. Roominess is the principle which deals with the dimensions of the room, the length of the room, breadth of the room, and height of the room. If any one dimension is either too long or too short, then it gives some awkward feeling to the habitants or the person sitting in that particular room. So any room will have the plan of any room will have, this is the room. So this is the longer dimension we will call as the length, and shorter dimension we will call as the breadth. So this length to breadth ratio is very important. While deciding the dimensions of the room, this length to breadth ratio should be less than 1.5 and should be more than 1.2. The reason is, if for example a room like this is provided, so this length maybe say 6 meter and this is the breadth is 3 meter. Okay, so when the person sitting here will have the awkward feeling. Okay, and similarly, if the length to breadth ratio, so here L by B ratio comes to 2, which is not within the range of the desirable ratio of L by B. Here length is also 3 meter, in this case breadth is also 3 meter, so length to breadth ratio is exactly 1. So here very square shape of the room will be there. So in these two categories, too long or square rooms, the persons sitting here will have the awkward feeling, and by past experience it is found the furniture arrangement is also very difficult in such a type of rooms. If the room L to B ratio is between 1.5 to and 1.2, they are having more conveniency for arranging the furniture also. So if L by B ratio is exactly 1.33, that is most desirable value. So if this length is say 6 meter, or say it is 4 meter, and breadth is say 3 meter, so L by B ratio 4 by 3, it comes to 1.3. So you will find this type of dimensions having length to breadth ratio 1.3 are more convenient for even furniture arrangement. Sometimes even the third dimension of the room, that is the height. Third dimension is the height. Okay, height is also, if you go to any place, the ceiling height is too low. Okay, just for example, normal height of the room. So this is the floor, and this is a roof. and normal height is around 3 meter. But if you go to place where this height is very less, may say for example this is only 2 meter, so normal height of the person is varies from 1.8, okay, around 1.8. so ceiling height is very low, then also is awkward feeling is there. And if it's too high, suppose this is a floor and this is a floor and roof height is above too high, so you are sitting, your height is this and this is the roof, okay, so that also gives the awkward feeling. So these are called the architectural scale. Okay, architectural scale should be in proportion to the human dimension. So human dimension varies from height varies from 1.8 to say 1.5 to 1.8 meter. So roughly around, for easy working, the roof height should be around 2.7 to 3.3. Less than that and more than that also is gives the awkward feeling. Then 11th principle is the sanitation. The surfaces at the washing places and in all the rooms should be easily cleanable surfaces, and smooth and plain surfaces. Again, plain surface means having no roughness or texture is smooth. Those smooth and plain surfaces are used to avoid the accumulation of dust and microbes. Carvings and rough surfaces should be avoided, because in carvings means ornamental architectural effects are given using some carvings in the stone or in the molded concrete cement molded blocks are used to give the architectural effect. So the rough spaces and corners of the ornamental carvings are the places where dust can accumulate, and ultimately that dust will absorb the moisture and will be placed for the bacteria and virus and will give the unhygienic effect. Okay, they need more effort to be regularly cleaned, otherwise they are not giving the hygienic condition. Use materials which dry faster. So nowadays some finishing materials are available which repel the moisture. They even repel the dust particles also. So that type of material if we are used will easily dry, will be better, and as water is the media where microorganisms easily grow. Then sanitation, washing places, kitchen, etc., where there are chances of dampness should be properly ventilated. So a proper natural flow of natural air over the surfaces also will expedite the drying process of the surfaces, and the surfaces should be exposed to natural sunlight. Okay, sun rays also expedite the drying process of the surfaces. Even the places where the washing places are there, the proper slope to flooring should be given, so that the faster drainage of the water takes place from the floor surface. The 12th is the lighting. All the spaces should be properly lighted. The spaces, some spaces we need the more lighting, and some space we need the less lighting at particular duration of the day. For example, during daytime when we want to take the rest, the bedroom should not have the more light in the space. So lighting or illumination of all spaces using natural daylight from openings at daytime and artificial lights at night time having economical power consumption. So if planning is proper, then the spaces, all the spaces may not need the artificial lighting during daytime. If the planning is not proper, opening, location of the spaces, direction of the spaces are not proper, then in certain situation what happens, the spaces, when we want to use those spaces even at the daytime, we need the artificial lights, so that will be affecting the economy of the habitants using that building. So so natural light may be in two ways. One is the direct sun rays from the rooms aligned in the direction of the sun path line. Okay, we will discuss this, what is the sun path line, when we will discuss the last principle, that is the 14th principle, that is the orientation of the building. Okay, so in any observe that all the rooms are not getting direct sunlight penetration from the window or door. Okay, some of the rooms in particular direction of the building are only getting the sunlight. So that is because the sun path is having particular moment and in particular direction at particular place. So that varies, the direction or path of the sun varies from varies with the at different places. So in other directions where the sun path is not aligned, then reflected light for room aligned opposite to the sun path line may be used. Okay, so sometimes the room is located in north direction and sun alignment is from the south direction. So in north direction, in the open margin spaces, we may use the color of the compound or some other objects in such a way that the light is reflected from that surface and penetrates in the from the windows. Artificial light is obtained by using different lighting equipments. These are classified in filament lamp, fluorescent tubes, UFA lamps, LED lights. These LED lights are more economical as they consume very less power for same illumination. Now, ventilation is the flow of air. Okay, natural air flow through all the spaces is desirable for comfort as well as for hygienic purpose, to make the spaces dry very faster, to have the hygienic condition. So every space should get the natural air through window for better health. Hence every room should have at least one side exposed to exterior of the building. So at least one side should be, even if it is say servant room, or if it is a storeroom, or even it is storage. Storeroom also should have at least one face, one side of the, out of four sides, one side should be facing the external environment, so that we can provide ventilator on the side which is facing the exterior. Location of doors and windows should enable proper cross ventilation. So cross ventilation again is very important. In a room, if we provide the opening, suppose this is a door and this is a window, okay, and all these three sides there is no opening. Okay, so door is open, window is open, and here the external environment is there, outside, or you can say exterior. Okay, air is there, so these particles will not flow inside this room. The air particles will not move, the velocity will not be zero. So this situation is very similar to the pipe, of which one end is closed. This is a pipe, one is closed, another end is connected to the tank. Okay, that tank, this velocity of the particle will be zero because this end is open. if you open the tap here, okay, so water will start flow, so this particle will flow. So similar to this situation, if we want particles to flow, we should provide at least one window in opposite direction. Okay, so if you provide window here, okay, so directly these particles, air particle, flow of air will take place this route. Path of flow of air will be this route. Okay, to have the better air circulation, there should be windows and doors should be staggered. So this is proper location of window, so that the air should travel the larger path or larger area of the room. Okay, this is more desirable. Okay, if the openings are in all the four directions, then if the window is provided here, so this will have this direction. If you provide the window here and in the opposite direction, you can provide the window here. So this is the best circulation. So it is desirable to have the openings in more number of sides of the room, so that have proper cross ventilation. Location of doors, windows should enable proper cross ventilation. We seen this in this figure how it can be achieved. If required for artificial ventilation, okay, if the proper location of doors and proper planning is not there, or sometimes it is not possible to do the planning because of the situation may be very congested, the land may be in the very densely populated area. Like in Ahmedabad, the building is located on very densely populated, like Kalpur or Lift Road area. So you cannot provide the openings in all the rooms. Okay, so in that case you have to plan for the artificial ventilation using the fans, exhaust fans, air conditioner or air purifiers. Location of doors and windows is important for proper ventilation of every corner of any room. Okay, so every corner of the room should be properly ventilated. Okay, there should not be stagnant air. Stagnant air gives the foul smell. Okay, so whenever all the windows are closed and doors are closed, and when you open the door, you will find, when you enter, you will find the stagnant air, and there will be foul smell because of the microbes consumed all the oxygen, and that's why we find the foul smell in the room. There should be openings in at least two opposite walls. Okay, that we seen in this figure sketch. Openings should be in two opposite corners to have the more circulation area. Total area of all openings should be at least 15% of the floor area. So in case of the load bearing structure, you cannot provide the openings, you cannot provide doors and windows in all the, in case of the load bearing structure, if I provide here window, door here, window here, door here, okay, window here, door here, okay, then how this load is to be carried out only this small area of the wall, that is also not desirable. In case of load bearing structure, we have restriction on the providing number of windows, but in load bearing structure it should be minimum 15% of the floor area. So this is the floor area or carpet area of the room. So suppose this is 4 meter and this is 3 meters, so the 3 into 4 total area is 12 meters. So 10% of that is 1.2 square meters. So sorry, 15%. It will be around 1.8 meter. Okay, 15% will be 1.8 square meter. So that much size of openings. So area of this door window should be at least 1.8 square meter. So this restriction is there in case of the load bearing structure, but in case of the framed structure, the load is taken by only 4 columns. In any room or any space, the load is taken by only 4 columns, or number of columns will be there more than there, maybe say 8. And this roof is supported, all the floors are supported by these columns, and interior spaces are divided by the walls. Suppose room is here, so you can provide as much as opening in this load in the framed structures. So in framed structure there is a flexibility, you can provide as much opening as you desire, but in load bearing structure there is a restriction, you cannot provide more openings, because ultimately if you provide more opening in the load bearing structure, the area of the wall which supports the roof will be reduced, and hence there will be more pressure on the walls, which may be compromising or will affect the stability or strength of the wall as well as the structure or building. Now this is very important topic, and this is the orientation, means the orientation of rooms and building with respect to north direction. Now why this north direction is important? Because in the building we need the good environment. Good environment means the temperature of the spaces inside the building should be comfortable to the habitants. It should not be too high, too hot, or even should not be too cool. So in all seasons there should be comfortable temperature, that means warmth, and the flow of air also should be very comfortable. It should not be too, the velocity of wind should be convenient. It should not be too high or too low. It should not be too high wind velocity during the winter. It's not desirable to have the flow of air inside the spaces in the winter, and there should, in the summer there should be more airflow or more velocity of the air through these spaces. And all these, even this humidity also is controlled by the sun rays. So all these are depend upon the movement of the sun from east to west, and at different places the direction of the sunlight will be different, and at different places the direction of the wind flow will be different. So our building and its rooms should be judiciously placed or aligned in such a way that the building on total should have the appropriate warmth in different seasons, and all these spaces should have appropriate warmth and airflow in different seasons as desired by habitants. So that can be achieved for aligning these rooms, but before that we need to know the direction of path of the sun. Now this is a earth, this is the earth, and this is the axis of rotation. Okay, this is a earth, and this is the north, and this is the south, and this is the equator. Now this is the east direction, and this is the west direction. Now we always observe that sun rises from the east, okay, and sets in the west. So this is the sunrise from the east, and this is the sunset. Now this path, actually sun is not moving, but earth is moving around sun, but we feel the relative motion of the sun. Okay, we cannot feel the motion of the earth because we are sitting on the earth. So instead of that, we are seeing the relative motion of the sun. So sun is tracing one path when it moves from east to west. Okay, every day this path line traced by the sun is changing the location. On exactly March 21st, March 21st, the path of the sun is exactly coinciding with the equator line. So as the date will change, March 22nd, 23rd, 24th, this orbit line will be slightly shifting. Orbit line will be shifting towards north hemisphere. So it's shifting towards north hemisphere. So after exactly 3 months, that means 90 days, the date will be June 21. So exactly on the June 21, exactly after 3 months, the path traced by sun will be on June 21. It will be at the distance of 23.5 degree. That is the latitude theta. Okay, again after June 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, again its journey will, the orbit line, path line will be shifting towards south. Okay, so again it will come to this same line on the equator on the September 21, exactly after 90 days or exactly after the 3 months. So after September 21, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, the line will be shifting towards south, and this line after 3 months, the orbit or path traced by sun on December 21st, okay, will be exactly at what distance? 23.5 degree latitude south. So this is the north and this is the 23.5 degree south. So the building, suppose our Ahmedabad's latitude is around 21 or 22 degree. So this 23, exactly if you are planning the building in Ahmedabad, your building is like here. Okay, so building is here. So most of the time in the year, your sun alignment is south of your building. So north of your building is south of building, this is your east of building, and the west of the building. So sun rays always will be available from south direction of your building. North direction of the building, you do not get the direct sun rays in the opening. But if you are planning for say Australia is located somewhere here, your building is here. Okay, so this building located in Australia, this is the north direction of the building, this is the south direction of the building, this is the east and west. So it is reverse of this building which is located in Ahmedabad. So here in the Australia, this building, okay, the windows in the north direction, the most of the months or duration of the year, the sun rays will be coming from the north direction, not from the, it will not be coming from the south direction. Okay, it will be reverse of this. So the point is that we have to first see where we are going to construct the building, whether it is at Ahmedabad, Australia, or if it is in Kerala, the Kerala location may be here. If it is at Kashmir, it may be here. So the different location will have different direction of the sun rays coming in the building. Okay. So usually in Ahmedabad we prefer the kitchen to be placed in the southeast. This is the best location of placing the kitchen in the southeast, but it will not be okay for the Australia. So if you locate the kitchen in this direction, you will not get sun rays in the morning in the kitchen. The scientific reason for locating kitchen in southeast is in morning we get the sun rays, okay, in the kitchen, and most of the food is cooked in the morning. Okay. So the sun rays will kill the microbes. They will directly penetrate and have the entry in the kitchen through the windows and doors, and as they will dry the surfaces very fast. So the surfaces will be dry, there will be less dampness, hence there will be less growth of microbes, so we can have the hygienic conditions in the kitchen. Okay, so this is the where we can locate. So all the spaces where we need more lighting can be aligned. All the spaces where we need more lighting should be have this direction, south direction. Okay, for Ahmedabad. If it is say Australia, the spaces where you need more lighting should be aligned in north direction. Okay, so this is the direction, which direction we will prefer for the more lighting, the either southeast or southwest. Okay, so first preference for kitchen will be southeast here, and second preference will be the here in the southwest. Now for more warmth, this was the sunlight. For more warmth, we can align our building with respect to north. This is the east, and this is the west, this is the north and the south. Okay, so if I are building having the length and breadth, okay, one option is you have the building like you align your building here like this. Okay, another option is you align your building like this. Now here you see, in the morning sun rises, the rays are falling on this surface. Okay, longer side of the building is facing the sunrise direction, that is the east. At the sunset time also, longer length of the building is facing the sun rays. So there will be more heat in this alignment, more heat transfer or more warmth in the building. More heat will be there in this case. But in this case, what happens? This length is shorter and the sun rays falling in this direction, so lesser area is exposed to sun rays compared to this, so less heat in this case, less heat is transferred. So this is advisable in the cold countries, you will prefer this, but in warm countries you will prefer this. Okay, in warm places, in the warm places you need the less heat transfer. In cold places, cold countries, you need more heat to be transferred in the building. Okay, so first was the daylight, second was the warmth, and now the last one, that is the air ventilation. Now it has been found that the flow of air direction is also with respect to these four directions, that is the north, south, east and the west. Okay, north, south, east and west. So flow of air is with respect to these four directions. During summer, the direction of flow is from the southwest to northeast direction during summer, and in winter the flow of air is from northeast direction to southwest direction. This angle is not fixed, it may vary slightly, may have this type of direction, but quadrant is same. Okay, throughout the year it may have slight variation. In this winter, okay, the direction of flow is opposite. Okay. Now here for cold for the places like India or Ahmedabad, we can call it a hot country. So in hot country the flow of air is desirable. So this wind flow is desirable, so we will call it as a breeze. The flow of air which we like can be called as a breeze. Okay. So in summer we have the direction of breeze from southwest to northeast, but in winter the flow of air is from northeast to southwest. So this we can call is not desired, so have the wind. Okay. So our rooms we can alignment of all the rooms where we need. So if your building is like this, okay, so this is a building, you want to plan the different rooms. Okay. So this diagonal, okay, rooms located in this diagonal, okay, will get better ventilation, and rooms aligned in this direction will have less ventilation. Okay. So rooms total have, if you have the summary of this combination of these three, okay, for better ventilation, particularly for India, if you want to have the building for better ventilation, you need this space. Okay, better ventilation. The north, the south, east and west. This is your building. Okay, and for better sunlight, north direction, south, east and west. So for better sunlight you have this area. Okay, and for warmth you have to this is the area in building where you can put to the spaces where you spend more time. Okay, so you need the better ventilation because you are spending more time. So naturally in this diagonal you should not put the WC, bath or store like that. So you should use this space which is having more ventilation, spaces like bedroom or drawing room like that. Okay, so this is all about the orientation. Okay, by aligning our building, aligning our rooms properly with respect to north direction or all the four directions, north, south, east and west, we can achieve the good environment in the building. So this is the all about the principles of planning. So today's session we covered the remaining points, remaining principles of planning. We started with the furniture arrangement, requirements for the furniture arrangement. Then what is ergonomic? Ergonomic is a scientific study of studying the dimensions of the human body, anatomy of the human body and physiology of human body to decide the dimensions of the furniture, so that they are comfortable, furniture is comfortable, and persons using over a period of long time do not have the chronic diseases. Then grouping of the rooms, how to group the room, the activities dependent upon each other, should be adjacent to each other, and how to do that. We have discussed this in grouping. Then privacy of the vision, privacy of the sound and privacy of the vibration, okay, we can achieve using the proper location of passages and the location of the doors, and external privacy we can achieve by locating the windows and using the trees and landscaping on the exterior side of the building. Then we saw the roominess, the dimensions of the room, their ratios, what are the desirable ratios, what is the desirable height of the building, height of the floor, all this in the roominess. Then sanitation is the good cleanliness is desired in all these spaces. So what are the surfaces, how we can achieve, which type of materials we should provide. Then we discussed this lighting, natural light if is available during daytime. We may not be using this artificial light. In unavoidable circumstances, we may provide the artificial light. Then the ventilation, for proper ventilation, the location of openings, doors, windows, how we can locate them, how can we achieve maximum ventilation. The last was the orientation. So locating or orienting the building with respect to north, south and east and west direction, so that to achieve the good warmth, desirable temperature inside the building, then sunlight and the ventilation. And so which are the directions? We study the path line and the flow of the wind in winter and summer. Considering all this, we can align all the rooms to have a very good building. So some of the buildings which are spaces, here you can see these are the spaces which are properly designed and they are very clean and well designed spaces. Okay, we can achieve this by proper planning. Without planning, we cannot achieve this cleanness and aesthetic appearance. This is a detached house, semi-detached house, and this is the apartment building. So this is the third session. We covered all the building principles of planning. So in next session, we will be covering the principles of civil engineering drawing. So that will be covering the 3 sessions. That will be covered in 3 sessions. Thank you very much.